This is going to be a complete guide on how to get from a fresh level 3 account off Tutorial Island into Snowy Nights, which are about 1,000,000 GP an hour. So let's get started. First we're going to make our character real quick, customize them up, and mainly I just wanted to make this video just because I feel like a lot of people really struggle with the early game. I'm going to burn some shrimp real quick. I'm going to select not to be an Iron Man because this is not for Iron Men. And a person with a suspiciously similar name to our own is going to give us a bond. How kind of them. Very nice. We're then going to redeem our bond because this is a members method as well. So this is not for free-to-play. Most free-to-play money makers are really bad. Next we are going to need some starter cash to begin our little grind here. So we're going to run all the way up to the Grand Exchange. Just make our way from Lumbridge. Nothing fancy. If you run out of run energy, walk. Make sure not to get hit by the Dark Wizards when you're going in the front doors of Varrock. Don't want to get sent back to Lumbridge. Alright, we are going to swap to a PvP world. This is one of the best ways to just gain a quick little bit of cash when you're just starting out. So just open up your world swap, find the PvP world. We're going to be picking up ammo from the PvPers. All their littering. Then we have a big shopping list. We are going to need 5 Super Hunter potions. These are for boosting, for leveling. They're going to speed everything up massively. A Ring of Wealth so we can get back to Varrock in the Grand Exchange once we're done. Stamina potions because we don't want to walk everywhere because that's really slow. A Khazard teleport because we need to go over to Yanille. A Piscatoris teleport because we need to hit level 20 Hunter and that is the best place to do it. And a Butterfly net. And a bit of spare gold. What we're going to do is just pick up all the PvPers' trash. All the arrows that they're using. They use very expensive ammo a lot of the time, or lateral darts, anything like that. We're just going to grab it all up and sell it until we have 40,000 GP roughly to buy all these things. Keep all these things in your inventory. You'll see I don't really do that in the run, but this is more post-commentary on what I did wrong, and you should take everything on the shopping list in your inventory. It'll save lots of time. Next, we are going to the Varrock Museum. Look out on your map, run over there to the Varrock Museum, go down the stairs, talk to this guy. He's going to give us a little quest. He's going to say, go inspect all the plaques and answer 3 questions on each one. So that's what we're going to do. This is going to get us to level 9 Hunter and some Slayer XP, which is kind of neat if you haven't done this quest before. So we're going to accidentally press the button instead of pressing the plaque. Then all you do is click all the answers that Quest Helper will highlight. If you don't have Quest Helper, I guess you'll have to answer the questions. So just go from each section in the bottom part of the museum here, click each little exhibit, do all the questions, 3 questions per exhibit. And after we do our final one here, we're just going to skedaddle back to him, hand it in, get our free XP. And if you brought everything, you should hit your Piscatoris teleport in your inventory. Run south. You will be boosting to catch the butterflies. I did not do that myself. I did a much slower method. I think just boosting to 15 to catch these butterflies, you should hit level 15 so you don't have to boost really, really fast off of these. So, yes. I personally went and caught weasels, which was very slow. You don't have to bring a bird snare. You'll see me using a bird snare in the footage here. I think I looted it once. It was not worth. Don't even bother. Just catch butterflies. You're going to catch butterflies until level 20. That's about it. This will take about, I think, 15 to 20 minutes. Not very long. The timer on that, it took 14 minutes and 31 seconds. We'll head back to the GE now. Use your Ring of Wealth to head back to the GE. We're now going to do Children of the Sun quest. Go run over here into the middle of Varrock, talk to these 2 people. You can turn on your Quest Helper so that it helps you. You'll watch some cutscenes, and then you're just going to run after this dude hiding on each of the tiles. If you don't have Quest Helper on, you can just look at what I'm doing here. You just kind of hide behind the buildings. And that is Children of the Sun. This is going to unlock the area where we will be farming for the Snowy Nights. And also to get to the Snowy Nights level. So you'll hit with more cutscenes. You're going to run back, talk to this guard guy. He's going to tell you to go mark all the guards. You just click on them, mark them. There's 4 of them. And we are going to run back to him. He'll play some more cutscenes. There's a whole bunch of cutscenes. And then you are going to pop your Kazard teleport right here. I did not bring the Kazard teleport myself, but you should. So you use your Kazard teleport, and then you're going to run south to Yanille. We need to purchase 400 butterfly jars, at least. You can buy a bit more if you'd like. But 400 is a good amount for right now. This is the only time you will have to buy butterfly jars. I will go into a method so you do not have to do this. There's a couple different methods so you don't have to buy butterfly jars this really obnoxious way. At 45 Hunter, you unlock a shopkeeper that is much closer to a bank than this guy, but we don't have that option right now. So you're just going to swap left click to buy 50 on the butterflies, click them, buy them, run to the bank, back and forth until you have purchased at least 400. Like I said, there's some other methods we'll get into on how to do that much faster later on, but for right now they're not really available. So just bank these all. And yep. If he runs out of stock, just world hop to a different one. I think he ran out of stock maybe 2 or 3 times while I was doing this. Drink your stamina potions, that's why we bought them. You don't want to be walking everywhere. So just do that. Shouldn't take too long to get all the butterfly jars we're going to need. And after we have all of our butterfly jars here, we're going to warp back to the Grand Exchange after we buy our last bit. You can purchase 40 butterfly jars every 4 hours on the Grand Exchange. It has a super low buy limit, and that is why we had to do that annoying method rather than just buying the butterfly jars. So buy the 40 that you can buy if you'd like to bring you up to about 400. There we go. Deposit your money, take your stamina pot, and next you're going to run all the way out east of Varrock because we're going to Varlamore. So just run over there, and we're going to talk to the Quetzal transportation guy. And he will fly us over there for free. You don't need coins or anything. And after we arrive, if you have the follow-up quest, if you're a bit more progressed than this, you have access to the Quetzal transportation system. You can actually just use the Quetzals to go there, but we do not. And you have to kill some mobs in that quest, so we're not going to be doing that on this fresh character because they would kill us. So make sure to watch out for these bandits as you're walking here. They're not super aggressive, but you don't want to run into those and get one shot. Run. Take out all the Super Hunter potions you have. You don't need the inventory space right now for your jars, so for the first time we're going here, we are going to be catching Sapphire Glacials. We'll need to boost to catch them. They're level 25. These are the exact same as the Red Harvests we just caught. You don't have to chase them around too. You can just kind of like camp their spawn. And also, I don't know if I mentioned it, but you should tag the butterflies as well if you hold right click and just tag them all and then change their color. It makes them so much easier to catch when they're not kind of blending in because they're very small models. So yes, now we will just grind these to 35 Hunter. So this is going to take you about an hour. In total, this entire process will probably take you about 3 to 4 hours if we count the 1 hour that you're going to be farming the snowy nights, which is why we're doing this method in the first place. So, see, as soon as we hit 34 Hunter, if you have spare Super Hunter potions, I didn't buy enough in my run. I wish I had bought a couple more. I accounted for this in the shopping list, so you should have some spare here. And you're just going to boost to 35. So go to the bank, drink your Super Hunter potion dose. As you can see, I am world hopping here to reset the timer at the bottom, so I can just kind of keep track. Drink your dose, grab your jars, run back over. And now we'll just be catching the actual snowy nights themselves. Ideally, you should be able to catch anywhere from 400 to 500 of these. as you go up in hunter level, you'll see I'm actually kind of missing on them, and you'll notice as you're leveling, you're going to miss on the butterflies a lot, but I think by around level 50 something, you'll have a 100% catch rate on them. So this first like hour or two of catching snowies is going to be your worst, but your catch rate will go up immensely. And you can use the super hunter potions, which are very cheap to boost even higher if you want to increase your catch rates a little bit. But even with the worst possible outcome here, I still managed to catch 400 in the hour, so you should be able to easily catch more than that if you have some extra super hunter doses. One thing I'm doing is I'm making sure not to have run on. We need about 40 run energy to run to the bank and run back with 1 agility level. If you can spare some time to level agility, it might help a bit more, but absolutely not needed. All we do is we make sure that we're on walk when we're catching the butterflies, because we're just going to camp one of their spawns rather than running around. And there's going to be a lot of time, like there's no need to run back to their spawn when we're just standing around there waiting anyways, so I'll just keep my walk energy, or run energy, charging. So, here we are, 43 minutes in. Just catching butterflies is all it is. Catching butterflies in the jars, run to the bank, run back. And, I think we are hitting a big level 39 here off of them. And we're coming up on the 1 hour mark. So, just catching some more. We're almost finished the 1 hour of catching snowy nights. It took very little time to get here, comparatively to a lot of grinds in RuneScape. Taking only a mere like 2-3 hours to be able to get to such a good moneymaker. If you're wondering what Snowy Knights are used for, they are an instant AoE heal, so people use them in PvP. They don't inflict any kind of attack delay or anything, and you can just pop them super fast, so they're used for speedruns and PvP. But this is the only way to get them, so they're kind of a limited stock item. Not very many people farm them, so they're worth a decent penny, despite being a very low-level item. And the 1 hour is up, so we're going to warp to the Grand Exchange, list all our Snowy Knights. We ended up catching 401. It's not ideal conditions. I made some mistakes. You can definitely catch more than this in your first hour. But we're going to list them. I recommend listing them always a bit above the GA rate. I did list them here for 2,700, but they ended up selling, I believe, at 2,400 or something after I took a short break and got a haircut for a character because I could not stand how they looked. I also found some floor pizza. And there we have it, 972k for our first hour. Almost a million, not quite. But, like I said, you will end up catching about 500 to 600 of these once your catch rates go up. And this is probably the worst outcome of them you're ever going to get. And I'll demonstrate the method real quick here to how we don't have to buy butterfly jars super slowly. You're going to buy Moonlight Moth Mix's 2-dose. You might have to overpay for these. These are also a very low volume item, but it's fine. We'll be reselling them back, so don't worry about the money we spend on them too much. Grab your cash stack. Double check the auction house. If the butterfly jars, what we're going to do is, basically, whenever we decamp potions at this guy, he's going to buy them at the GE's price. So we're going to turn these 2-dose Moonlight Moth Mixes into 1-doses. And then we're going to turn them back into 2-dose. And what you will notice is all of a sudden, he just gave us 125 butterfly jars. We make sure to drop these. And then we just keep doing that. And just like that, you can get a ton of noted butterfly jars. Just keep in mind, he is charging us the GE price for each of these butterfly jars, so it is not free, but it's not that expensive. I think it's usually around 30 to 40 GP per jar. So yep, just keep swapping them around, and you have to drop them on the floor, because if you don't drop them on the floor, if you have them in your inventory like this and you go turn them into 1 dose, he's going to use the ones in your inventory rather than buying ones from the GE. So you have to make sure to drop them. And that is how you can get a ton of butterfly jars. It's a bit jank. There's a couple other methods, but this is probably the fastest method to obtain tons of butterfly jars. And this scales up. If you have like 1,000 snowy moth mixes, you can basically buy 1,000 butterfly jars every time you do this little juggle of 2 dose to 1 dose on him. And then we can just relist these, so we're not having to buy those permanently. If we jump ahead a little bit in time here, you can see we're restocked on jars. We have 900k plus in the bank. Took only a couple hours to get to this point, and now we can basically farm Snowy Nights whenever we want. If you have a more progressed account, though, too, you can also, if you have, like, Graceful, much higher Hunter level, higher Agility, you don't have to bring a Butterfly Net. At 45 Hunter, you can just bare hand these, which just, I guess, saves you from carrying the Butterfly Net. But yep, another thing you can have is the Quetzalwitzel, which you unlock by doing 10 Hunter Rumors. This will let us teleport back. You also need the Twilight's Promise quest done, which is, it's not a very high level quest, but it is a bit much for a fresh level 3 to do. Which will just, that just saves us a bit on the trip back. And there is a better spawn in which you can catch them in the same spot. There is 2 spawns much closer together here. You can just kind of bounce between them. Just keep in mind, this is going to use a lot of run energy. You might need to drink stamina pots if you are going for this, but it will increase your catch rates a lot. And another thing I did not use in this video is the Horn of Plenty. Horn of Plenty will allow you to catch 2 butterflies at a time, so you could invest that if you'd like. It costs a couple million GP to buy, but it effectively gives you some free hunter levels and lets you catch a spare butterfly 10% of the time. So I hope this is helpful as a quick, very compact guide from Tutorial Island all the way to a very effective GP an hour method.